Bingo. Black Power is the General Seti, and I'm black at y'all ass again with this real fucking talk. Back in the house, y'all. If y'all were just on Seti, I did major damage to the naysayers of the Egyptian Olmec Kushite origin of all South American civilization, including Mississippi mound builders, goddamn Aztec, Incas, Mayans, and all the rest. All of them was at the feet of the Olmec Egyptian Kushite Africans, getting their wisdom and knowledge. And they could not surpass the masters. Never have they ever been able to surpass the masters. And we got to understand that. So today, over here on the general page, we got the two-man riot, Seti YouTube page. We got the General Seti page, the two-man riot of YouTube, causing all type of, havoc to the naysayers of the African supremacy in all aspects of social living, whether it's spirituality, whether it's politics, whether it's science, whether it's music, whatever it is, whether it's language, whatever it is, nigga, we the epitome of all that, okay? And so today, we're going to be talking about the churches of Lalibela, Ethiopia, and Colosseum temple in India, and a couple more temples. You know what I'm saying? But to stand out, I had to put that in. I didn't want to put so many in there to where the goddamn title is just, just all off the goddamn off the damn computer screen. You understand what I'm saying? So, we talking today about rock-hewn architecture. I'm going to say that again. Rock-hewn architecture. What is that? It's when you not using blocks or brick, you cut directly into the mountain to bring about the architecture that you laying out, that you got the blueprint to construct. Lalibela in Ethiopia is a rock-hewn megalith where you cut the rock out of the mountain in the design that you got on the blueprint, okay, that you laid out. And these is some masterful architects and masons, okay? You could believe that, because even when you go into the temple, they done carved all type of buttresses and arches and columns, and you know what I'm saying? And you cut into something, you cutting in the rock. And so this is one of the earliest forms of architecture of the African, okay? And I want to, not just Lalibela, because a lot of people thinking that, somehow that's the same architecture that they use when they cut out the Valley of the Kings, the Valley of the Queen. When you cut that rock out, you cutting down into the mountain. You see what I'm saying? And, those are temples up under the ground with 4 and 5 levels. You see what I'm saying? And you walking into rooms that been designed. And so you cut the rock into the, the design that you got laid out on the blueprint. You see what I'm saying? And so this is a architectural science that would have taken literally tens of thousands of years to develop. Okay, so you're not just gonna see it anywhere and when you do see it, I bet damn near 99.9% of the time, and the other percent too, we're gonna throw that on in. 100% of the time, it's the Africans, whether it was in the Americas, the megalithic building in the Americas, gonna prove it. But not today. We're gonna deal with the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela, and we're gonna deal with Colosseum and some more temples in India carved out of that same architectural style. And not that, just that. We didn't add it so much. This is just adding on top of it. of how many, similarities in culture and in science and the advancement of all arts and sciences of the mind, on the same level, moving in the same direction, got the same spiritual deities, got the same spiritual icon, that the lion would be the national symbol of Ethiopia and India, okay? And seeing so many instances where, even the Naga, you got Naga Sudan, Naga India, you got a Skoa, who is one of the greatest of the Indian kings, and then you got a Skia, a Skoa, a Skia, you got the Mauryan Empire, and then you got Mauritania and Moor, meaning black. You understand what I'm saying? Not to say the more of that, but the root of the word, black. You understand? We see that it's all over the planet. And because the reason why, because this is one Kushite empire, and we got to see it. It's almost shocking to the mind that our people rule this whole planet, and we could prove it. It's not a mythology where we shooting all these holes through the European fake history, and niggas rebuff that shit every day. You rebuff the white scientists. You understand? You ain't nothing but the white man's nigga. That's all you is. You understand what I'm saying? And we got to shoot you down today. You understand? We got to put our people back on the right path, because once I show you how you did it the first time, that's a blueprint on how to do it again. And like I say, when you get to taking back your shit, take it all back. Don't leave nothing. Don't leave nothing. Give me all my shit. Okay? Give it all to me. You understand what I'm saying? If we got to take it in increments, you understand what I'm saying? But the blueprint is to take it all. If we could document it was ours in the first place, then it's ours now. It's ours today. We taking it back. And so we got to lay it out, the whole map. And we got to show our greatness and our temples. And we start with Mother Africa, which is the central point of all African people, starting with our communities right where we at, understanding that Africa is the center point. We must have Africa first and foremost. And you understand? Because until we free Africa, there will be no African free nowhere on the goddamn planet. You understand what I'm saying? When your motherland is under siege, you under siege anywhere you at. So you can sit here and say, oh, why do we? Because until when mama house is under siege, you have no respect. There's nowhere you can run. You understand what I'm saying? When your mother house is under siege, you got to free your mother house, but you free your mother house by first freeing yourself, freeing your mind. It's working right within the community that you're in and reaching them hands across that ocean as soon as you get a chance, and make sure that you don't take long, and put them hands across that ocean and put them hands into other communities where your family is located. Start locking arms, understanding this is a global African supremacy. Our peoples is located, and we're going to seize the whole goddamn planet, goddamn, especially those lands that we know historically was ours. And that's everything, goddamn it, from the goddamn 30th parallel, even below that. Goddamn it, we talking about them that, we're going to put them back up in goddamn Siberia. Everything other than goddamn Siberia. Anything south of the goddamn Himalayas. You understand what I'm saying? That's us. You understand what I'm saying? We got to set out a blueprint to prove and show. So when we get to kicking in goddamn doors, you ain't got to worry. You ain't got to ask the question why. Because you know it was ours in the first goddamn place. So don't ask the question why. You understand what I'm saying? Don't play stupid. You know this is our civilization from goddamn all the way to what they call Melanesia. You got Africans and niggas is sitting up here asking silly ass questions. How the hell you think Africans got in Melanesia? You understand what I'm saying? That's past goddamn Australia, where ain't nothing but woolly head African Kushite all through Melanesia, because they was all the way from Melanesia to Africa. Australia, all of that was woolly head African. And I'm not talking about the loose curl, and that's all right. You still down with the team. We love you. But when you show that tight king, that's just show you profoundly how African it was. Not to discredit none of my family. Loose curl, that's okay. The Australians, that's our family. But before the European got there, that shit was tighter than that. It was like Papua New Guinea. So to show you from Africa all the way that far, goddamn east was woolly head, tight woolly head Africans. That's saying a goddamn lot. So from if they in Melanesia, that means everything before goddamn Melanesia. They moving across the oceans in the land map in sequence. So if they to Melanesia, that means they have populated everything between Africa and Melanesia. That's what you got to understand. That the world you see today is just fabricated in the last 2,000 years. This is not the ancient Kushite empire. So when we go to India and we show you a lot of the architecture, they no different than the American Indians over here. A lot of this shit they learned from the Naga Africans. Okay, they learned it from the Naga, and much of them temples in the South where they tried to destroy, those are the ones that got the rock and that's made in the forms of the pyramid in India, in the South. Okay, on the west coast of India. You understand what I'm saying? That's closest to Africa. You see all the pyramid temples, rock, stone. You understand what I'm saying? Showing you that connection to Africa. Okay, these is why the Buddhas, and so when we say that this is adding on top of that. Okay, we just came out of the mound builders, which, you know, is an extension of that. Everybody is building on the African blueprint of temple building and temple complexes. It's the same, and I'm gonna show you that. I got the blueprint to show you that many of the is on the oblong, on the sacred oblong of the Egyptian temple. So I want y'all to buckle in today. I want y'all to get them pens and pencils. I'll get that paper. Get ready to write this information down. And when I'm done, wake your ass up tomorrow, go back to work and put some more on to add on to that. Do some research behind that. And so we can push this team, this BPC team, Black Power Cartel, further and further and further. Say we the hardest goddamn team ever. Ain't no harder team than the BPC. Guaranteed. Been rocking niggas world for the last goddamn 25 years. Rocking world. So buckle up, family. We about to get started today. Let me look out in my, I ain't even check my chat. Ain't even check my chat. Just went to straight to going in niggas' mouth. Okay, we're in the house. That's right. That's good. I ain't gonna keep you up too late. I'm gonna go straight to work, put this good hour in, and show you this powerful information because it's powerful. So let's go, family. Buckle in. Matter of fact, hold up, family. Let me get something up here. Let me get something up here. And when I had to show y'all something, I could do that. I need to get that. Okay, that's good. All right. I needed that. Okay. And I just need a couple of temples that's also connected to this outside of Lalibela and Colosseum. Okay. To show you this type of, let me get the definition. There you go. Got you right there. And let me go on and get the definition, and I'm ready to rock. There you go. Okay. All right. Let me see. They probably got some. I got the definition if I pull it up. Okay. Cool. There it is. That's beautiful. Got my definitions that I need, you know, my extra work that I want to show y'all about to get moved. Okay, it's right here. Okay, here we go. That's what I needed right there. Okay, let me get to the one I need. Buckle in. That's all you do. Buckle in, because I'm about to hit the button. Y'all know how we do. Don't play no games. Play no game with these niggas. All right. Bingo. I'm gonna start here. Okay. I'm ready. Let me hit the button. Let me hit the button. Let's go to work. All right, family. We're in the house. I need my phone so I can monitor it. Okay. Let me see where my phone at, family. Hold on. I need a mop. I need my mop. Here you go. Let me get my monitor up. In case something happened, I can see. Now, this is what I call rock-hewn architecture. Okay? And people got to understand this is one of the ways that our family, because if you go up the Nile, if you go up the Nile into Ethiopia and further, further south, Sudan, you go into Ethiopia, Uganda, all in the Central East Africa is a lot of mountains. You see what I'm saying? And people got to understand that the pyramid is a reflection of the mountains. When you're looking at the sacred architecture of Africa, you're looking at the sacred architecture of Egypt, you'll see that Egypt is nothing more than the southern lands, the southern environment recreated in stone. Whether you're looking at the papyrus columns, the lotus columns, the palm columns, whether you're looking at the mountains as a form of the pyramid, whether you're looking at the sacred lake as a form of the sacred lakes in Central East Africa. We're talking about the lake on the side of the temple, or the Egyptian temple, is nothing more than a manifestation of the holy lakes in Central East Africa. And you see that the nave, the causeway leading up to the pyramid, is nothing more than a ceremonial Nile River. You understand what I'm saying? Leading up to the mountain. You understand what I'm saying? You see that many of those lakes are mountain lakes. When you talk about Victoria, and those are mountain lakes. And you need to do that. So you got to understand that Egypt is nothing more than the recreation of the southern regions in stone. And so many of the temples were in upper Africa, in upper Egypt, which is going to the south. Many of them were just carved directly into the mountain. You see what I'm saying? So, a lot of people is looking and say, damn, how in the hell from early Egypt, did they advance so rapidly? Because they already had, thousands and thousands and thousands of years of working the mountains already. People don't understand that. Many of them tombs wouldn't have never been found if some of them weak ass Negro, partially Arabs that was over there, pointed them damn tombs out. You wouldn't know where them tombs is at. But when they opened them up, they were so magnificent. You understand what I'm saying? Shocking to the mind. Even when you talk, people say the pyramids is shocking. The damn Valley of the Kings is on the level of the pyramids. When you think about how deep they carve, and you talking about almost 150 to 200 tombs between the Valley of the Kings and the Valley of the Queens, some greater than others. But the ones that are so magnificent, they really skyscrapers carved into the depths of the mountain. You see what I'm saying? And they own levels, different floors. So you got a skyscraper. You got damn near a 5, 6, 7-story skyscraper carved into the mountain, carved down into the mountain. You understand what I'm saying? So the Valley of the Kings is also the same architectural ingenuity that you see here at Lalibela. So I don't want y'all to think that this is different. This is the same architectural ingenuity, African ingenuity between Egypt and Ethiopia. And we're going to show that the same. And so you got to understand, you're not going to do, you didn't see this all around the world. And even when it starts showing up in certain places, they couldn't do this right here. Yeah, they'll do, they'll do a wall or two or this, that, and the third, but they wasn't constructing world all shocking monuments like you see in Africa. And even when you look at India, a lot of people try to compare, and like I say, I do it the same way with the Olmecs. I understand that the Naga Kushites is our people. So not at all am I not showing veneration and homage to the greatness of the Naga Kushites in East Asia, India, China, the South Pacific, and so on and so. But to compare that to the level of the Africans in the Nile Valley is unfair, because these, the Africans in the Nile Valley had reached a godlike state. You see what I'm saying? They had reached a godlike state. So again, you looking at from the top, and not only did they carve this out perfectly, you understand the ingenuity of the inside of this church, and you got to understand it's 11 different churches in this complex. You understand what I'm saying? And they all carved differently, but nonetheless, they are all, all shocking wonders of the world. And, and when they talking about wonders of the world and how the hell Lalibela is not in the shit that they calling, a wonder of the world. And I seen the new wonders of the world, and Lalibela is not there. Get the hell out of here. That's crazy as hell. Lalibela is most definitely one of the wonders of the world. Okay? And not only how they cut, but the inside, when you go inside, the buttresses, the arches, the columns, and you know what I'm saying? The different rooms inside and how they cut it perfectly, and you couldn't make a mistake. You see what I'm saying? This is inside one of the beautiful Rock-hewn churches of Lalibela. And you can see, even in the top, how they carved the ceiling, how they carved the buttresses, and the intricate detail of the church. You see what I'm saying? This is what you call Rock-hewn architecture. And like I say, this is African. The Africans was the first on the planet to master this in Africa, nowhere else. And then later on, thousands and thousands of years later, you will see it in India. Okay, you will see it in India, but it was of course, it would take you thousands of years to master this. You're not going. That's why you don't see it everywhere. Okay, and the Africans is the only people that were on the planet that had that early, the earliest time on the planet. Millions of years before anybody else. And so that was the time that was necessary for them to master this architectural blueprint. Okay. And this is one of the other churches. I got to get the names, right. But you can see right here and this is also carved right out of the mountain. No bricks, no blocks. You understand what I'm saying? Look how intricate they even the different geometric symbols. And y'all seen the general when I was in Ethiopia and I was pointing up to the swastika. All the geometric symbols that's in these buildings that they carving into this stone. This is truly on the level of the pyramids. There's no doubt about it that Lalibela, and I put Lalibela as one of the great wonders of Africa. Okay, and it's not, and it's not just down the list. You know what I'm saying? It's in the top 10. I got to put Lalibela in the top 10 of all great wonders of Africa. And here again, this is another one where you carving the mountain down. So this was the earliest form of architecture. even before they start laying the blocks. So when you're talking about, the pyramids, you see this is the preliminary work that they was doing before they got to the pyramid. So when they was cutting them, it was easy for them to cut them blocks. Shit, they look at all the stone that they moving to make this damn building what it is. You understand what I mean? When you think about how deep them valley, when we go into the Valley of the King, and you talking about you going down into the mountain, damn near a mile deep. You going into this mountain. Do you know how much stone they had to remove out of that motherfucker? But to get it to look like it looked, do you know how much stone they had to carry up out of the earth to make it look like it looked? So that was the preliminary work, architectural development before they even got to the pyramid. So just because when you look at Egypt, Egypt is the last colony of Ethiopia. So even when the early Egypt began, even the earliest kings, you see they tomb, and you see those are advanced tombs. They're not on the level of what they're gonna be, because the population is just moving in. The necessary population is just moving in. The Egypt of today was under the water. You see what I'm saying? You got Mena, who was the first pharaoh who diverted, he dammed the river and diverted the Nile. And when he dammed the river down there in the Delta region and diverted the Nile, the water, when it receded, the land that receded, he built Memphis on. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of what you see of Egypt was under the water. So they had to get down there. They had to cultivate the land. They had to get the land ready for the population to move in. It wasn't that they didn't know how to build the great monuments from day one. The population wasn't in the land to construct those type of monuments at that time. But they were highly advanced from day one. When Egypt started, they were highly advanced. So you see the swastika and all types of, not only did they have the swastika, they had different types of swastikas. Okay, they didn't just have no one swastika. They had all types of crosses. You understand? The X is also a cross. It's a diagonal cross, and we got to understand that. And so we inside, and this is I don't know, this might be Lalibela. I was in this church. You understand what I'm saying? Look at that. Look at the achievement to be able to cut those type of cuts into stone. You understand what I'm saying? Not the reverse way of doing it. Most people add that shit. They'll buy shit and it's wood, and you add that, you nail that shit in there, but to cut that type of geometric shapes into stone, as if you know what I'm saying? This right here is astonishing, okay? Again, looking at another one of the great churches, and I want y'all to look at that particular X, because it's going to come up, the cross, and that particular diagonal cross in the form of an X is going to come up in India. It's going to come up in India. You see what I'm saying? And to prove, and that right there is Lalibela. That's the great king, Lalibela, who built all 11 of the churches. And he's up there with Khufu. He's up there with Khufu. He's up there with Imhotep, Zosia, and all the great kings and architects of Africa. Lalibela is when you call on the great kings and great architects of Africa, then when you call on Imhotep, you got to also call on Lalibela. You got to. You understand what I'm saying? And so as we see, and a lot of people don't know that India broke away from Africa. People got to understand that. That's why India is called a subcontinent. It broke away from Africa. So technically, India is a part of Africa. You ran away from home, and we out here and we found you. You understand what I'm saying? You ran away from home. You lost your way from home. And so we done found out our little brother, India, today, who is still a part of the Kushite Empire. But, you know, they say India was, you know, pretty much connected to Madagascar. You understand what I'm saying? And that, you know, when the plates broke away from each other, you know, and the African plate was pulling away from the Asian plate, Madagascar and India, you know, broke away from Africa, and India floated, you know, floated into Asia, and that's why it's called the subcontinent. And when India crashed into Asia, that, you know, that the crashing of those two land masses made the highest mountain range in the world, which is the Himalayas. Okay, the highest mountain ranges in the world is the Himalayas. Okay, and some of the caves we're gonna be dealing with that's rock-hewn is the Eleanor caves, the Ajanta caves. All of that is rock-hewn. Okay, carved right into the rock, just like Lalibela. Okay, and very exquisite. That I might add that these Colosseum temple is a wonder of the world. There's no doubt about it. When you see it, it is a wonder of the world. Okay, and many of the attributes of, you know, when you look at the Indian, you damn near looking at the, you know, the African Kushite, because they venerate the same animal spirits, the elephant, the serpent, the lion. The lion, you know, is the national symbol of India, was the national symbol of a skull. Okay, so you see that they venerate, and so when you go to Ethiopia, then you got, you know, the Nagas, the Negus, who is symbolically the descendant of the Lion of Judah, which is Jesus. Okay, now I'm not gonna get off into that, but that's the similarity in India and in Ethiopia. And you see that many of those rock temples that were built in the form of the pyramid is in the south. Okay, that's where the Nagas that you see that's in Malaysia and in the Adamite, they was in the south. But through, just like, you know, many years of genocide and, you know, the conquest of the land, they was pushed off of the land. So you don't understand that the Africans that's in Malaysia and Australia and Tasmania, you understand, that's in the Adam was on the continental India. Okay, and they were the predominant type. And then, you know, as they say, you know, a course of 6,000 years ago, a flood of savages from the north conquered all epicenters of Kushite knowledge, centers of civilization on the planet. It's a documentation which I'm gonna read, and it's out of the Making of the White Man by Paul Lawrence. Okay, I think his name Paul Lawrence, who wrote The Making of the White Man. I'm gonna get that book out there, and I'm gonna get that information out there. Okay, and so you see what the Eleanor caves, and this is not the particular temple that I'm talking about. This is called Kamagulama temple, but this is a rock-hewn temple. The other one is greater than this one, but this is a Jain temple. But this is to show you that this is the same architectural know-how that came up out of Africa that came into India. And you see this temple is in the south. When you start seeing them rock temples that built in the same exact format as the Egyptian temple, you see, I'll pull it up again before I get out of here to show you the same temple. The Sankore temple, a mosque in Mali, is the same temple in goddamn India with the pyramid in the front, the sacred oblong rectangle sanctuary of ancient Egypt. Okay, it's the same all over the world. Whether you look at the sanctuaries of the Hindu and Buddhists in India, it's the Egyptian temple blueprint. If you go to the Olmecs, it's the Egyptian temple blueprint. Okay, when you go to the cathedrals of Europe, okay, when you look at the Greek temple, the Roman temple, it's the Egyptian sanctuary. Okay, and so we looking at this particular rock-hewn temple. Okay, now this is Colosseum temple. Okay, in Illinois. Now it's over 2,000, almost 500 miles from Lalibela. Ain't that far? So when you see, and then you understand that Oxum, that included, even though Lalibela is right there, you understand, that Oxum, Egypt, and Nubia were ocean-faring empires who was sailing all the way to Europe through the Straits of Gibraltar, going all the way to India, going up into Mesopotamia, going all the way to Japan. And you see them in what they call Papua New Guinea and Vanuatu in Melanesia, and I'm going to be doing that very soon. So to just show you, not only did India's nothing, they went thousands of miles past India. And so when you see that, you got to understand that if you got Africans in Melanesia, in Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, Fiji Islands, you know damn well they came to India before they went to damn Melanesia. So you got to understand the African that you see in Melanesia populated the whole of the southern portion of Asia all the way to Africa. And that's what we got to wake up. We got to wake up to the true reality of our greatness. So you see right there, the jump from Lalibela to the Illinois temples. On the airplane, it would take you 14 hours. So, on boat, you know how long that's going to take you, but it's still nothing compared to the technology of the boats, that were built from the, the Africans, Oxum, Ethiopia. These was very powerful boats. You understand? So they probably would get you there in about 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But that's nothing when when you got major empires all over the world. Okay, so here, so this showing you the smaller one. We're gonna get to the bigger one. And you see the cow, you see the elephant, and another showing you that even the cow and the bull was sacred in India as well as it was in Africa. Had a rule, not just the female had a rule, but the apis bull. Okay, and so you see that the cow and the bull was highly venerated in India as well as Ethiopia, Sudan, and Africa. Egypt. And now this is at this same temple right here. You see the little toit. You see the little toit right there. That's what you call the Negritos. That's over there. If you look at the Tasmania, they short. They got a lot of little what they call Negritos in Asia, and that means toit, not pygmy, but toit. Okay, and the Africans is the only peoples on this planet where a portion of our peoples is short like that. Now, other peoples might have dwarves, but they don't have a whole segment of the people that's short like we are. So when you see the little short people and you see as many of them, you know that those are toit, those are Negritos, okay, and they are connected to this temple, okay. And Lalibela is far and greater than this one, but Colosseum is on that level. And you also see that this is a Jain temple. This is actually a Jain temple. Okay, so you got Hinduism, you got Buddhism, and you got Jainism. I don't want to be a part of none of them because all of them crazy. I was watching Jainism last night, and if you want to watch it, you can watch it. And they very extreme. Them motherfuckers don't, they just extreme. Don't step on ants, don't step on no insects. They don't walk with no shoes on. The motherfuckers fast till they die and all of this shit. And so if that's what you want to do, go right on ahead and do it. But then, you know, so you can look it up. But this is also a Jain temple. You see that they fundamentally still follow the basic African blueprint that they found when they got there. The pyramids, and don't give a fuck if they're Hindu or Buddhist, whether they are Olmec, whether they are Chinese, whether they are Japanese. Because when you go into China, you go into Japan, what do you see? You see the pagoda. The pagoda is nothing but a step pyramid. That's all that it is. So fundamentally, that the blueprint from Africa is the same blueprint all over the world. So you can claim the elementary individuals that mimic the family, our ancestors, but you don't want to be the masters. You want to be the imitators. You understand what I'm saying? You want to be the imitator. You don't want to be the master, and that's shameful. That's shame. And people talking about they ain't African, but everybody else is emulating and mimicking the African, but you not African. Okay. Now we get into Colosseum. Okay. Now when you see Colosseum, now you're looking at the greatness, how they cut down in this is a aerial view. Now I want y'all to stay focused to that X, because if you see that X and see, you know, this, you can only see this from the top. And you can see how it's cut out. You see it's cut out on the sacred oblong. I got the blueprint. I don't lie. I backs it up, and I laugh at motherfuckers for thinking that they could play me or my people like we wouldn't see this, okay? You see right here that both the Indians and the Ethiopians venerated the lion, okay? If you look at the top to the left, that was the Indian flag before the occupation by the British. And then you see the three-headed lion that you see at Naga, Sudan, at the Temple of Apetamet. You see the three-headed lion there. And so you go at the bottom and you see the Ethiopian, and you see they using the same colors. You see the green, you see the yellow, you see the orange. Now at the other one, at the top, the only thing is they replaced the red with the white, okay? They replaced the red with the white. But as you can see, it's no doubt that the Ethiopian, that the Indian was one, you know, two branches of the same people. You understand what I'm saying? In a not too near distant past. You see what I'm saying? Now, here it go. Now, when you're looking at this temple right here, that's called the blueprint to the left is Colosseum Temple. And when the one to the right is the Egyptian temple. So you can see that no doubt that temple, Colosseum Temple, was carved just like every other sanctuary on the planet, was carved on the blueprint of the Egyptian Ethiopian sacred temple. Okay? And so now, remember I told you, to keep your, see that X at the top of Colosseum Temple? I'm gonna put it next to you. See that X? And you put it, and that's the same, but I'm gonna show you something. That's the same, you know, cross. That's a cross, but it's diagonal. You understand what I'm saying? You got the swastika, which what they call a grammadon, is still a cross, okay? But you can only see that from the aerial view. You see, and when you come down, you see it's 4 lions. Wait a minute, do they got an elephant? They got 3 lions and 1 elephant. See, so they keep that 3 lions, that's sacred because that's what they got from Africa, and they got that 1 elephant. You see, was that an elephant? It might be a lion, but it looked like he got a damn, that might be his leg. It's 4 lions. It's 4 lions. It's 4 lions. But then when you look from the top, it makes that X. It makes that X, that diagonal cross from the aerial view. You would only be able to see it from the top. You understand what I'm saying? To show you that, again, the same sacred geometry, the Rock-hewn church, the Rock-hewn architecture, and the fact that it's carved out of there in the form of the sacred Egyptian sanctuary is proof positive on top of everything else. So as I went over earlier with the Naga Kushite that I keep adding on top of that. So we dealing with the fact today that Rock-hewn, carving down the mountain, is African architecture. You don't see that no damn where else. You don't see it on the level that you see it here, okay? And so I'm gonna show you some of the, I think that might, let me see, do I got more? Let me go up here. Let me go up here. I forgot I got these. Now, again, let me get a big one. I need a big. Even when you're dealing with Abu Simbel, this is Abu Simbel. This is Rock-hewn. Okay, so when you're looking at Colosseum and you're looking at Lalibela, this is the same architectural science carving into the mountain. Let me bring it over here so I can blow it up better for you. Let me bring it on over here. Okay, that's carving in. So Lalibela is, and so people don't make that under that connection. You know, when you're looking at Lalibela, you're looking at Abu Simbel. You understand where they carved that great temple? And look at that. You see how? And then I heard one Indian talking about that Colosseum temple was the only temple in the world. I say, come on, you weak motherfucker. You must don't know who you dealing with. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, and so Abu Simbel, for me, is the most beautiful. And then you got to deal with the fact that his queen Nefertari's temple is right next to that. This is the most beautiful temple on the planet. Hands aesthetically, it's not the largest, but aesthetically, this is the most beautiful temple in all the world. Okay, nothing can come close to it in aspects of how ancient it is, because this go back to about 1300 BC, and that's on the Caucasoid time scale. It could be far older than that. But we know, regardless to whatever date it is, we know that it would have taken tens, if not hundreds of thousands of years of architectural development to get to this point. So even if we say 12 or 1300 BC, goddamn it, slap the goddamn 100,000 years of architectural development it would have taken to even get to this goddamn point. So I'm tired of motherfuckers, you know, when they say how old the pyramid is. Motherfucker, the pyramid might have been completed in goddamn 3000 BC, but it took hundreds of thousands of years of architectural development to get to that point. So you got to take not only the time when it was completed, but the amount of architectural development, the time it would have taken to develop that science, you got to add that on top of that, okay? Which would take you into the hundreds of thousands. And that's why they would rather say goddamn aliens come down on the planet. You understand? They cannot give the Africans the credit of being the masters of all culture and civilization, and really literally having hundreds of thousands of years where there was no other races but Africans on the planet, and that we so far more advanced that is just shaming to these people, to where they will lie and formulate all type of Atlantis and Lemuria and all this fake ass, you know, the biggest, there's pyramids all over. These ain't no guy. There's only one place in the world where they done constructed freestanding pyramid, and that's in Africa. Everything else is a mimic and is not a pyramid, okay? It's not a pyramid, and I'm gonna break that down from geometrical terms real soon. I just shown lastly, you know, on my last video on Sarasu and Seti, that a lot of times they call something a goddamn pyramid, and it's not a mound. It's not a motherfucking pyramid. Damn, it's not a pyramid. If you went to goddamn geometry and your teacher say pick me out a pyramid and you pick a mound, your ass gonna fail, nigga. That's not no goddamn pyramid. Okay? And so they will lie and say, oh, the mound is a pyramid and that the largest pyramids is in the, that's a dirt mound. It's not a freestanding structure. It don't even, you're not even using masonry. You're using dirt and putting the outer casing on it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not a these are freestanding pyramids built geometrically perfect to the dimensions of a pyramid, geometrically. Okay, you can, and then you can go and look at the papyrus of Amos, which they lie and call the Rhine papyrus, and you see the African architects with the triangles about 6 and 7, where they working out the triangle. You understand what I'm saying? You can see that. They working out geometry on the papyrus, laying out the blueprint for the pyramid. And so you don't need that when you piling up dirt. Okay, you don't need that. So again, the mound is, and that's their way of trying to steal Africa greatness by saying, you know, this is a pyramid. Ain't no goddamn pyramid. It's a dirt mound. Okay, let me come down here and show you again. This is the Nefertari's. This is Nefertari's temple right next to Ramesses. So this is one temple complex, and this one was carved directly into the mountain. Okay, so this is the same type of architectural science as Lalibela, as Colosseum in India. Okay, this is a rock-hewn, rock-cut megalith. Cut out, you know, and when you say a megalith, that means it's cut from one solid piece of granite, okay? It's not no brick or no block. So we talking about rock-hewn temples, and we talking about megaliths. And I'm going to get into the megalith later to show y'all the largest megaliths that ever been constructed on the planet, to show you that there is no equivalence in architectural achievement with the African. He surpasses all other on the planet by far. Okay, so I'm sick of you. I got to pull up. I got to pull up and bust on these motherfuckers. Let me show the Valley of the Kings, family. Let me go into the Valley of the Kings. Let me go into the Valley of the Kings. I got something right here. Bingo. You know what I'm saying? Bingo. Let me pull this on over. Let me pull a couple of them on over. You know what I'm saying? So I can blow them up. You know, here's another one. You know what I'm saying? There's another one. Oh, I can't. They won't let me get that. They say, nigga, you getting too much good shit. Let me get another one that ain't the same. This is another one. You understand? This is Rock-hewn, where you cutting miles and miles down into the damn, and I believe even Hatshepsut, her temple, her funerary temple, was cut directly out of the mountain. This one right here, because the mountain right behind it. You understand what I'm saying? This is rock-hewn. So when you talking about Colosseum and you talking about Lalibela, this is the same architectural know-how. You know what I'm saying? But you see the level of this compared to the level of this. You understand what I'm saying? So imagine this particular tomb in the Valley of the King. Say, for instance, it go down a half a mile. Do you know how much stone you got to move? And then this is just the the walkway to get down to, and it could be 3 and 4 levels to this tomb, where you go to a platform, stairs, and you got to walk down. So it's actually a building underground. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you going up, you going down. So imagine carving room. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can show you some room that's carved down in the Valley of the King. Let me see if I can show y'all some room. And you see how many it is. You see what I'm saying? Nobody has that, the multiplicity. You know what I'm saying? And when people talk about, the Africans mastered all forms of science and were the most advanced in all forms of science at one time. You understand what I'm saying? So when you say the Mayans brought shit to Egypt, okay, show me they great statues. Let me see them, you know, not just no goddamn pyramid, just not no mound. Show me all around advancement in, you see what I'm saying, in all forms of architecture. From the tomb, I'm showing you tombs, I'm showing you temples, I'm showing you pyramids, I'm showing you obelisks, and I'm showing you megalithic style. So if the Mayans brought it, you got to show me that stay, you know, the advancement on that level in Mayan lands before they bring it. You can't be building mounds and then come to Africa. Where's the development between the fucking mound and these freestanding, you know, pyramids that go up 200 levels, and each level you got, you know, you talking about 2 million blocks, and each one of these motherfuckers on average weigh at least 5 to 10 tons. And here you got a dirt mound. How the fuck do you go from a dirt mound to cutting blocks that could weigh 100 tons? You got megalithic structures like the unfinished obelisk of Hatshepsut that weigh 1,500 tons. You have never seen the Mayan. The only people in the Americas that cut stone was the Olmecs. You never seen no Aztec, no Incan, or none of that carved no heads on the level of the Olmecs. So it's ridiculous what shit that'll come out of niggas' mouth. That the Mayan, you can't say the Mayan brought shit, because like I said, that's outdated, because once they found that the Olmecs was the earliest, you understand what I'm saying? That shot the Mayan thing in the goddamn, it's over with. Okay, they ain't showing you. I need to see some rooms in there. I'll come back to this. Here go one. This is beautiful. You can see how they carve the steps, how they carve the columns. You understand what oh, here goes some rooms back here. You see what I'm saying? So you see, this is the same as Lalibela. They done carve these rooms into the mountain. Okay? So when you look at Colosseum and the other temples, which are extraordinary temples, but they only got one. You understand what I'm saying? They only got one. You know, they might get two, but they got, you know, they got a few, but ain't nothing on comparison to what you get in Africa, because I done just showed you. God damn it, they got over 76 in the Valley of the Kings, and then you got damn near 76 in the Valley of the Queen. Each one of them could be a wonder of the world to itself. And you got damn near, so where at do you find so many of just all shocking goddamn wonders of the world? Okay, I'm sick of you niggas talking this dumb shit, talking about who brought what. And I'm talking, whoever said it, goddamn it, I'm talking to you, because you should not have opened your mouth up if you hadn't done the research enough to this point to know that that was a damn lie. That showed me you ain't done no real research at all. At all. And your teachers must have been weak, because they would have showed you better than what they showed you, so you wouldn't have put your damn foot in your own goddamn mouth. Okay? So this is Rock-hewn architecture. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the definition, and then I'm going to be out. And I got some more beautiful videos for y'all. Stay tuned now. Stay tuned. I'm going to be back. Black in the house tomorrow. I ain't letting up. I'm gonna have goddamn videos all week. All goddamn week. So when you say Rock-hewn architecture is the creation of structures, buildings, and sculptures by excavating solid rock where it naturally occurs. Rock cut architecture is designed and made by man from the start to finish. In India and China, the terms cave, cavern are often applied to this form of man-made architecture. See, they didn't want to say nothing about the African, but let's see what images come up in rock-cut architecture. Again, Lalibela, you see right there, Colosseum. Okay, you see Colosseum. You see Petra. You see Petra is also in there. I've seen something up there. I don't know what that is, but it ain't on nothing comparison of dealing with uh what's in Africa. And wherever you see it, you got to know and see. Here go another Rock-hewn church in India. Got to give them credit because that takes hell of an advancement. But when you think about how much they had to carve out the Valley of the goddamn Kings and how that shit pales in comparison. You know what I'm saying? Shit, they probably carved that much stone in the first goddamn front of the damn valley. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in front of the tomb. So you know what I'm saying? I take my hats off, and you see, there you go. You see Lalibela right there. You see Lalibela right there. But Africa was the first place where this form of architecture would appear. And you see, even the Sphinx was carved from one solid granite. So that's Rock-hewn. You know what I'm saying? That's Rock-hewn. It was carved from one. So that's a megalithic structure right there. Rock cut architecture and sculpture. So I want y'all to stay, as we move through developing as a family, that y'all, look that up, rock cut architecture. But start in Africa. Look at all the ancient tombs and temples. And then when you go out, it's no different than learning how to build a skyscraper, nigga. You got to go to the advanced schools of people that's building skyscrapers. Okay, look at the Arab. How did the Arab build? He went to schools in the Western world. And if you look anywhere else and you see the Rock-hewn architecture, it's because they was trained by African masons and architects. Okay, so family, again, just to prove the evidence that India is nothing more than a colony of Africa, the Kushites of Africa, Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt. We give high regards to our Naga Kushite family in East Asia, West Asia, all the way into Malaysia, Australia, Japan, Tasmania, all the way to the Americas, the Olmec Kushite. We are one people all around the world with various manifestations of civilization. Let me come back on in. Because we reaching, and I'll get back because I'm gonna keep coming, family. I can't do it all in one day. Don't want to do it all in one day. I just want to touch on, some of the science and be out. You see what I'm saying? Touch on some of the science and be out. So, Rock-hewn architecture, one of the facts that prove beyond any reasonable doubt that much of the science that's in India came from Africa. Along with the language, along with the animal spirits, and many other forms of culture and civilization that we can show and prove that this is one people. So, family, did you get some science today? Was you on the general's other page, Sarah? How was the science today? What you think about that? Come on now. Wake up. Wake up. I know you saw it. Wake up, goddammit. Shit. Give me some. How I do? That's right. That's right. That's right. I'll be black tomorrow too. Thanks, Patah. One love, brother. Thank you. You're always there for me, man. I got something for you. Don't think I don't. Got something for you. Get that package over there to you real soon. All right, family. Y'all stay tuned because I'm going to be black tomorrow. I'm going to do it the same way. I'm going to be on Rock-hewn Seti. I'm going to be on General Seti, okay? So y'all stay tuned. The links will go up probably tonight, early tomorrow. Have your ass in the place. We're gonna jump through some more portals. We're going to do some more developing. I'm guarantee you it's no better place to be than with the General Rock-hewn Seti. Okay, family. It's the general saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily, liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.